Welcome to J-Rod Concerts, the podcast live. And we are super excited to have Old Sea Brigade here with us. Ben Kramer, Old Sea Brigade, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Man, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you, Ben, we were talking like motivational, like what an album.
Oh,
What an
thanks,
album
man.
that you released, man. I mean,
Thank you.
12 songs, 45 minutes, dude. What a
Yeah.
journey of an album. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to finally have it out in the world. We spent a while working on it, and the pandemic obviously sort of derailed some of our plans with
Sure.
getting the record out. But it's nice to finally get it out and
Yeah.
hopefully get to play some shows.
Did you tinker with it in 2020?
I did. Yeah. We started the record, then we actually mastered it, and like we were gonna get ready to release it, and then the pandemic hit, and then we found ourselves sort of, me and my co-producer Owen Lewis, we just found ourselves with all this extra time, and
Sure.
we live right across the street from each other, so we're like, let's get together and see if we can tweak anything, see if we can beat any of the previous mixes and stuff. So
Yeah, it's fascinating.
it was nice. Like, I never found myself with obviously that much time on my hands as probably
Yeah.
most people.
Well, I mean, you
would
nailed
say.
it, dude. It's perfect. I mean, and
Thanks.
the critics have loved it. Consequence of Sound. And
Thank you.
Everybody's loved it. What is, like, you've always been critically validated. Is that, like, at all important to you at this point? Or are you, like, just,
I mean, I let everyone just sort of form their own opinions
Sure.
on it. Once the record's out, it's out of my control. So, I hope people like it. I hope people understand it. But I also, like, if it's not for someone, I don't have any, like, negative feelings or, anything towards them.
I know, no, absolutely, absolutely, Ben. Okay, so let me ask you about your early life, because
Yeah,
it's pretty
sure.
fascinating. You're from Atlanta.
Yeah.
You started playing piano when you were 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when did you start playing, like, bass and all that stuff? 11?
Yeah, like around 11 or 12, my friends and I started a Green Day cover band, and we wanted to play their song "When I Come Around" at our like middle school talent show. So
Sure.
we spent like all year practicing that one song, and I ended up learning bass to play in the band. And from that band, we started another band, and we just went out and started playing shows, and things just sort of like kept going, and I never stopped.
So it was Green Day that, like, really, like, blew your head out when you were
Yeah,
like,
I was really into skateboarding at the time too,
Yeah.
and I wasn't very good, and I always got hurt skateboarding.
Sure.
So I figured I might have a better chance at a music career.
Yeah, but you loved punk, all that good
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, definitely.
I loved it. The
Yeah.
Misfits, the Ramones, all that
Yeah,
stuff. Did you
yeah.
get into all that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, all of it, man.
That's
Like
awesome.
I came from that world, and like playing in just like loud, like played in like some metal, like hardcore bands back in the day, and then just sort of stumbled on the singer-songwriter world a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been a huge fan of, like Townes Van Zandt and like
Mm-hmm.
Blaze Foley, and just like traditional singer-songwriters, Bob Dylan, obviously,
Sure.
Springsteen. But I'd always like played in these punk bands, but on the side I'd written my own songs. And it wasn't until
Okay.
I guess it was like 2012 I like started going out and like playing a couple open mics and stuff. But
Sure.
I didn't really get going with releasing music under my name until I started Old Sea Brigade.
Okay, interesting.
So,
What
yeah.
about the songwriting, though? Like, when did you start the songwriting? Because you had all these bands
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
Probably super
yeah,
popular.
I started in high school, and and I really like cherish those memories of writing songs then, because there was no like industry. I didn't know like what the music industry was. I just wrote songs and would book a show, and I'd be super excited when I saw my band's name on the venue's website, and we
Yeah.
would just get all of our friends to come to the shows, and that was that was everything I could have dreamed for.
Sure,
you know.
sure. How did you guys get your name out there? Like CDs in stores?
Yeah,
and-
just like go around school and like
MySpace kind of
yeah,
thing?
MySpace,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pass out demos to like people in the hallway and stuff. And,
Unbelievable, man.
So
It's great. It's great to see your journey, like
yeah,
how it
it's been-
starts.
It's been fun. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
I learned a lot through all that trial and error.
Of course.
So
What do you think, by the way, of the music distribution, how it is now, Ben? I mean, it's like, obviously, Old Sea Brigade can
Yeah.
release a song tonight at midnight, and someone in Japan can be listening to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the monetization part of it, and
yeah,
and all that.
it's a tricky one. I mean, I think when I started Old Sea Brigade, that's like right when Spotify and like playlisting
Yeah.
kind of started taking off, but that was 2015, and I didn't know what playlists were, and found myself like starting to get my songs added to these like random playlists in like the Netherlands and stuff. So in like some ways, I'm grateful for Spotify to help kind of like kickstart my career, but I also recognize like, musicians have a hard time getting paid, and usually by the time they get to a certain level where they could make money themselves, they've probably signed their masters away to a record label or publishing away, and, just so you can pay your rent. Stuff.
Totally.
So it's a tricky balance. I mean, I think there's more ways than ever now to like make a living in the music industry, rather than before, like, early 2000s, and before, I mean, to rent studio time was so expensive and you needed to go to a fancy studio. But now, like, people are making the biggest songs in the world.
In their computers, right?
Yeah, in your bedroom. So, like, there's no limit now.
Yeah. But don't you think something is lost with the album? Like, we talked about Green Day, and When I Come Around, that was what was the name of that album, Rancid?
That was off of Dookie.
Of Dookie. Oh my God, of course. That was of Dookie.
Yeah.
Right, so a Dookie. Like, and Motivational Speaking is an album. Like, that is a freaking beautiful album.
Thank you.
Like, are you worried that maybe like some of the people, like youth or whatever, they're not gonna have the patience to get into a Dookie? How many times did you hear Dookie? Hundreds.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and like there's so many records I look back on, and I mean, I remember like discovering like Tom Waits' like Mule Variations, and like I just remember like, this is such a weird record, like what's going on, but I was so drawn to it. Right. And like so drawn to like certain songs that weren't necessarily the singles, because those songs kind of made the singles make more sense. Yes. I like that. And now like everything is very focused on, I mean, someone told me there's like 20,000 songs being uploaded to Spotify every day. So like that's an insane number. Like, how do you make yourself stand out? I have no idea. I think just try to write the best song you can. Yeah. I'm certainly a fan of records, but I also like suffer from, the music ADD, because I go on Spotify and I want to listen to an artist, but then I'm like, oh wait, but I want to check out this other band too. And I usually have to get roped in by like one of the singles, and then I'll deep dive on the record. I love that, man.
So Ben, let me ask you about a chapter of your life that has not been spoken about a lot deeply, and it's the University of Miami, the Frost School of Music. Yeah. So I'm from Miami. That's where I cut my teeth in Miami radio. Right. I love my city, but I know its musical shortcomings as well. Yeah. How do you look back on your time in South Florida? How long were you there?
I was there for a year. So when I graduated high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I came from playing in bands and stuff, and I wanted to just go out and book my own tours and go play shows. But I ended up applying for and I got into the music school and decided to go, and it was great. I learned a lot, and I still have so many friends from that 1 year I was there who are like doing cool things in music, and we're still in touch. But Miami was a tough place for me to like go out and tour, because you have to drive up the whole state of Florida. Yeah. So what is that, like 9 hours just to get out of the state?
Just to get to like Tallahassee. Yeah. Exactly.
So that, and like, that with like just the cost of being there, I was like, I think I could do more being, closer to Atlanta. So I moved to Athens after that, and that was a little bit more of like the scene. I was a bit more familiar with that scene. Yeah. But I'm very grateful for the time I spent in Miami. I love the city. I've been meaning to get back down there. It's been a while.
Well, I mean, that city needs some of your music for sure. So that depth. Let me ask you about when you toured with Kansas, because that is such a great chapter. I mean, after Miami, you're in Athens, you start touring. Yeah. You start going around the country, around the world, actually. Yeah. And you play 60 dates or 60 something dates. Yeah. Right. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it was a lot.
With classic rock giants, Kansas.
Yeah. So I was playing in a band. It was a rock band, and we ended up getting connected with Phil Ehart, who's the drummer for Kansas. And he ended up managing us. And Kansas, they're actually based out of Atlanta, or most of them are. And we ended up just going on the road with them a lot. And, it was a blast. I mean, learned a lot.
What do you learn from like seeing Kansas perform night in and night out?
I mean, you learn patience. I mean, they've been a band for... Sure. I mean, then it was like 40 something years. Now they've got to be pushing 50 years, you know. And Phil and Rich Williams, the guitar player, they're original members.
and they kept this thing going. They kept it going from selling out Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row in the 70s to playing like dinner clubs in the 90s. And now like they sort of had to come back with like, you know, Old School and like South Park and all those sync placements and Guitar Hero. So now they're back to playing theaters, and they've got a great, like, they have a great live show, and they're the nicest guys, and learned a lot just how to, you know, have patience and be a band and like treat people, you know, well. And so and just got to experience what it's like to play in big venues too.
I love that.
So it was fun.
I love that, Ben.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you about your songwriting.
Yeah.
Because when people listen to motivational speaking, they're gonna freak out about the lyrics. I mean, it's just like pristine, man, A+. What is your process like? And what I mean is, you know, do you take that discipline where like maybe you'll tell your friends and family, like, all right, guys, I am in songwriting this week from 11 to 5, no distractions. Or are you more like when the muse strikes kind of thing?
It's a little bit of both. I think I have to force myself to write songs because I can like tend to just slack off and be lazy at times. Sure. But also like I think you're not gonna. I'm a firm believer you're not gonna write a great song every day or every week. You know, like but you have to try at times. And like with motivational speaking, some of these songs were like half-written songs that I had over the years, and others like were songs I wrote in a room like with some of my friends who are my frequent collaborators, like my buddy Henry Brill, who's like, he's an amazing lyricist. So I would like go to him and like, I have this idea. I wrote this verse or this chorus, but I need help tying some of the lyrics together. And he would be a great person to just bounce ideas off of. And then there was like my friend Stephen Mullen, who plays live with me a lot, who's an amazing keyboard player. And like, he's a magician with like synthesizers and all of that. So it's just nice to have like different perspectives on you know, songs you're writing. And I feel like one of the great things about being in Nashville is I'm surrounded by so many amazing musicians who are also some of my best friends, and everyone has something different to offer that's special in their own way. So I came from the world like of playing in bands, and then my first record was just really like myself writing all the songs, and now with motivational speaking I was able to sort of branch out and collaborate with so many people. So it was fun.
That is amazing about Nashville, man. And you know, but like you toured with one of our good friends, Aaron Lee Tasjan. We did one show together in the middle of Sweden. Tell me about that. By the way, happy birthday, Aaron, when we're recording this.
Oh, okay.
So
it's today's birthday. Nice.
Tell me about that show.
Yeah, that was. I was on tour in Sweden. He was on a different tour in Sweden, and we just linked up. I opened for him at this. It was like the middle of February, I think, and it was this like random town south of Gothenburg, and we. I mean, I was like, no one. I thought no one was going to be there. Then all of a sudden, like doors open, and you know, like 200-300 people came in.
That's
so
awesome.
It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Do you miss touring Europe?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's great. It's really fun.
How was last year for you, Ben?
With COVID, with the pandemic. I mean, it was an adjustment because I was used to being on the road so much, and you know, you just get used to being on the move. And I got very antsy at first. You know, it was the longest I've stayed in one place in the past like 10 years.
Sure.
Because I've moved around so much in the past and got used to being on the road for like, you know, 6 months out of the year at times.
Definitely.
So it was an adjustment, but then I kind of got into a good routine and tried to make the best of it. I mean, and it was such a horrible year for, everybody. And I feel I'm very lucky, you know, given all the circumstances, it wasn't too bad for me.
On a personal level, like an individual level, what did you shed? Like if I ask Ben Kramer 2021 version to Ben Kramer 2019 version, how are you different today?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I've learned like not to like overdo it, like to have a bit more balance in my life and with touring and everything. Like you don't have to say yes to everything. It's okay to have a normal life on top of music, because having a career as a musician is very, very bizarre, and it's hard to have like a normal schedule and keep up relationships with your friends and family and stuff when you're always on the move. So
exactly.
That stuff is easy to sometimes forget and neglect by accident. And then it all comes it all kind of crashes down at some point.
Right.
But I think if you can have a bit more balance, it makes the whole music career way more sustainable.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when you're starting, you have to have almost like an obsession with music, right?
Yeah,
right?
and I still do. I mean, it's still like all I think about in a very unhealthy way. But with that said, I can like set aside time for things I need to take care of.
I love it, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you're being so good with your time. Let me ask you about your next project, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Because Motivational Speaking was such a great album.
Thank you.
And, we were talking off camera. I think you're starting to work on the follow-up.
Yeah, I'm starting this week.
You're starting this week?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does that process start, Ben? Because, you released such a masterpiece into the world. Like, is it almost like, oh, man, here, like, starting from zero, what is the are you like looking up a mountain? I'm not an artist, but I'm fascinated with the process, with the thinking. What's your thinking going into the studio at the beginning of a project?
I'm excited, curious. I've had 2 years to work on these songs. Yeah, I know Motivational Speaking just came out, but those songs to me are fairly old now. But I guess that's like most musicians would probably say that by the time the record comes out, they might be like kind of sick of the songs because they've heard it, a million times.
Right.
So I'm excited to get in the studio and like I want to try something new and different. I'm working with my friend Jeremy Griffith, who produced my first record. Yeah. And then I'm also working with Owen Lewis, who produced my second record.
Cool, man.
So we're all going to join forces.
Interesting.
It'll hopefully work out great, and or it won't work out at all.
When you meet with like all your team and your producers, Ben, and all this, do you come up to them and you're like, okay, listen, guys, I know what I want. Yeah. I know what I have in my head. Just help me make it into sound. Yeah. Or are you guys like, okay, let's collaborate together. Let's create something together.
I think it's more let's collaborate and create something together. I mean, I come from a production background too. Like I grew up working in studios and I like make records for other artists. So I know what it's like to wear the producer hat, but it's tricky when you're trying to self-produce. That's why I brought in Owen and Jeremy because I really trust them and I think they're going to bring something really special to the table, and it's nice. It sort of takes a bit of the load off, so I can just focus on being like the artist while making the record, and then you don't. That way, I don't have to like second guess myself on everything, because that can be a big thing in making a record.
Self-consciousness, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and you just like you come up with an idea and you're excited about it, then like the next day you hate it, and then you don't know if it's good or not, and it's nice to like have some, trusted opinions. I don't think it's good to like send it to all your friends and get feedback, because that could be
that's even worse.
That's a weird path to go down.
Exactly.
Which is probably not the best for being creative. But when it's like with Owen and Jeremy, I really trust them, and they've been along with me for the ride.
Absolutely.
So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
awesome. Well, Ben Kramer, Old Sea Brigade.
Yeah.
You've said it all. There's a rumor that you may play a little song for us.
I can do that.
Is that an accurate rumor?
I can play that. Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be awesome.
Play a song.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure. This is a song called Caroline. There you were, in my head, not a stranger. Yeah, you'd come to life, mind the whole, tangible, in a fever. Yeah, I dreamed we danced, there we were. There we weren't. There you were. There you weren't. Caroline, can I pull you aside? Can I talk you through my vision of our life? It'll take some time. It won't feel like life. We'll disappear through the years. I'll wake up when we die. Caroline. at the Rose Cafe. If we met and I asked your name, would you say Caroline? Would we vanish into the night? 40 years, they go by. A whole future in my mind. And Caroline, can I pull you aside? Can I talk you through my vision of our life? It'll take some time. It won't feel like a lie. We'll disappear through the years. I'll wake up when we die. Caroline, don't take it away. Don't let it break. Did we even start? Is that even your name, Caroline? Can I pull you aside? Can I talk you through my vision of our life? It'll take some time. It won't feel like a lie. We'll disappear through the years. I'll wake up when we die. Caroline,
Unbelievable. Ben Kramer, thanks so much.
Yeah,
man.
thanks for
That was
having
awesome,
me.
dude.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome.